Humans can live full, vibrant, healthy lives for 200 years or more. Our mission at Galahad Life Sciences is to slow and ultimately reverse aging so humans can live their full biological potential. This series of podcasts will introduce you to what I have learned in Live Long, Live Well. I will introduce you to disciplines that are on point, like medicine, biology, exercise, and nutrition. I will also introduce you to disciplines that seem tangential, like physics, history, and psychology, all for the purpose of clarifying our thinking about one of humanity's greatest challenges, aging. Welcome to Live Long, Live Well. Hi, I'm Steve Lloyd, CEO, Galahad Life Sciences. In my 50s, about 25 years ago, I concluded that life expectancy is a trap. Now, we all have this love of life expectancy, imagining how long we'll live, but I believe it's the wrong measure. Life expectancy is truly for actuarials or life insurance companies. Humans, at least I, want to have quality of life. I changed my life purpose about 25 years ago. I went from being an M&A specialist, a CEO of an investment bank, to becoming CEO of a biotech company. Now that change, and my change, was because I decided to focus on slowing and reversing aging so humans can live 200 years. Was I crazy? Well, maybe a little bit, but in my 50s, I sold my waterfront home, I sold my business, I gave up my professorship, and I started this journey. Now, life expectancy is a miracle of modern medicine. No wonder we focus on it. We don't want to look forward to dying necessarily. But if we take a closer look of the information the World Health Organization has, we can see that this has been a declining asset. Take my grandparents, for example. They were born in the 1890s. They were termed the lost generation because they lived through the First World War, they raised children in the Depression, and when they were born in the 1890s, well, their life expectancy was 43. Mine is very different. My parents, who were at the time known as the wasted generation because they were born into the Depression, lived through the Second World War, and came out of the 50s to raise children, they later became known as the greatest generation. Their life expectancy was 13 years longer. Their life expectancy was 56. They'd gained 13 years in one generation. When I was born, early baby boomer, my life expectancy was 68. I gained 12 years on my parents' generation. But did I really get a quality 12 years out of that? That's what I began to ask myself about 25 years ago. Subsequently, when my children were born, their life expectancy was 74 years. Now, I gained 12 years on my parents. My kids just gained 6 years. What's going on there? My grandchildren, they were born fairly recently. Their life expectancy was 78. They gained 4 years. From my financial, professorial mindset, I see this as a declining curve. We're putting more money in, we're getting a lot less out. This is costing us more, and we're getting less. This is a time for change. I'd like to introduce you to some charts here. This shows on the left the quality of life. This is the freedom that you have, the amount of capacity you have to enjoy life. That means that you are free to travel wherever you want to go. You are taking care of yourself. You have a level of independence. I call this our freedom. On the bottom, these are years. this is what we normally measure in terms of life expectancy. This is how long we expect to live. The curve measures quality of life and when we die, the years. You look at this first graph, my grandparents, who were survivors of World War I, survivors of the great flu pandemic, and raised children in the Great Depression. My grandfather beat life expectancy, but just barely. When he passed away, he had a heart attack playing in his garden and enjoying a sunny day, and passed away. Poof. It was a tragedy, yes, but boy, did he enjoy life. Now, my grandmother, she was the big winner. She had a quality of life that was high, and when she got sick, she passed away fairly quickly. I consider her to be a success in the life expectancy, quality of life exchange. Now, my parents, the second graph, shows their curve, which was about the same. My father, he had a decline, just like my grandfather, about age 35 or thereabouts, and it was substantial. And then he had a severe health event. The doctors rushed in, they saved his life, and he spent the next 12 or so years either bedridden or in a wheelchair. It was a difficult time for him. It was a difficult time for my mother. It was a difficult time for our family. He was saddened by the experience. He did not have his freedom. He lost his level of self-assurance. He suffered tremendously at this time. As my mother's health was declining, I saw I was falling into the same trap as my father had experienced, and I did not want to go down that path. I changed my career. I helped my mom reverse her health decline and brought back a super quality of life, walking every day, playing cards with friends, otherwise engaged, and was able to survive a couple of significant setbacks, health setbacks, and continue a full and vibrant life until just a year before her passing. That I consider to be a pretty good outcome. And thanks, Dad, for teaching me a great deal, because this is my graph. I was beginning to decline just like my dad. I saw the situation as a very scary moment. I did not want to live and beat the life expectancy time frame. I wanted a quality of life. So I reversed all of the characteristics of my life, focused on biotechnology for my life purpose, and reversed my health substantially. When I started this effort about 25 years ago, I saw clearly I was declining, and my life expectancy of 68 when I was born, that could have been my end. I am now very close to 80, and my level of health is extraordinary. Inflammatory responses are excellent. I recovered from a major automobile accident and a traumatic brain injury with very little repercussions. I have got methylation and other indications of my DNA function as being a high level, 20 years younger than my chronological age. That is where we are headed for our Healthspan being our true goal. And what we will look at in our series of podcasts is how we get there. We're going to bring in thought leaders to clarify our thinking about aging, one of human generation's greatest challenges. Now, we're not going to offer medical advice, although we will have medical experts in. We're going to give life advice as we try to move forward to reducing and ultimately reversing the aging process. Thank you very much. Welcome, and please subscribe. Have a good day.
one spirit